I don't have any regrets.
Oh, I don't have any regrets. Well, I do have a few.
Regrets, I've had a few. Anyway, what about your friends at work?
Oh yeah, so they were. She's like, well, I go. I thought the thing with kids nowadays was they're all about oral sex and they don't actually like penetrate because that's like the ultimate thing. Which in my day, it was kind of the opposite. I'm like, I had to really love you to give you oral sex.
Here's what's weird. I remember vividly the first time I did a blowjob.
Oh my God.
Do you?
That was the day I lost my virginity.
Okay, not me.
The boy was kind of like, yeah, like,
oh
do
my
it.
God.
Yeah.
So I was 16 and it was my first serious boyfriend and we were up in his room and...
Oh my God, ew.
Do you want to know what song was playing? I even know what song was playing.
Yes.
Tender love, tender.
Oh God.
Love so tender. I remember doing it. And here's what was hilarious. We were...
Baby, I'm sorry, I haven't heard that song. Coming up to YouTube it now.
Candles, they light the dark. You know what? I freaking love that song.
I do too.
And even though it evokes that memory for just a minute,
yeah,
I still love the song.
Right.
It's great. They were almost like a one-hit wonder.
Oh my God, mine was a Def Leppard song, but
that's hilarious.
I love. Even though I hate the guy, he was such a dick to me afterwards.
Oh God, that's hilarious.
And he's still a dick.
Of course, he's probably went to prison. I think, if I can recall. I think he did too. For drugs.
Oh my God. And one of my old besties, she probably went for him because she just likes every lowlife that we ever went to high school with. I'm like, God,
Yay.
what is with you?
Yay, Orange Veil. You're so
oh my God.
You're
like,
so classy.
Ew.
Anyway, so I was 16 and I did it and his sister was like, ah! And he's like,
What, you got caught?
No, she was just yelling for him. She's like, it was the sister.
Well, it was the family home.
Was yelling, and she's just like,
God, and you guys are up there fornicating.
Aren't you gonna have some chicken nuggets or something like that?
My God.
And he's like, leave me alone. And so finally, I'm like, this isn't working. And me, right. I'm immediately like, done. And he's like, no, wait. And I'm like, nah,
no.
And knowing what I know now, that was probably brutal for him, but I don't care.
Oh, I can imagine, but still,
whatever.
No.
He got over it. He's fine,
right?
I assume. I don't have no idea.
He's fine.
Literally one of the only people I don't look up.
He probably remembers that because was it his first time?
I have no idea.
At that age,
I wasn't his first girlfriend, so it's possible.
But I mean, when you're at that age, you have girlfriends and boyfriends where you go so far, and then you have the one that you remember where you went farthest.
Well, we'll see. Well, no, he immediately lost his virginity the second we broke up.
Boys, no, yeah. Well, they'll just lose their virginity as soon as they get the chance. It wasn't like they were holding out.
The saying is, girls choose who they have sex with, boys choose who they can have sex with.
Yes.
Something like that.
100% true.
It's not even a choice.
Yeah.
They just go, what are we going to do? Okay, ready?
Yes. I believe so. I'm going to have a piss. She still loves this song.
Well, if we had a new one, I would do it. I don't know.
I like it too.
I still have to pick. Anyway, welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is episode 566.
My Ug's a little weak this morning.
That's all right.
You know what? Why would we record on Sundays? Because this is the only day that I have enough energy.
It's just easier for you if we just do it on Sunday brunch day.
No, it is. But it's also the day where I'm 50-50, halfway hungover sometimes.
Yes.
And Sundays are just like the most chillaxed days.
I know, but you chose it.
I did choose it. It's better than yesterday. I'm just a wreck on Saturdays.
No, you just can't.
Yeah.
It's your day to literally just forget work.
I literally am just like exhausted, and the older I get, the worse it is.
I will say, I just want you to know, and I'm going to say it on the show so that you know this and everyone can hear it because they already know. We had quite a few subs because your life was just in chaos.
Oh yeah.
Which is totally, I mean,
I get it.
This is what's great about recording with you is you're my sister and I understand. So it's like, and we have such a large family. I can literally bring in anyone.
You can pluck one off the tree.
So you did a show last week. And Monday morning, it posted Sunday night, early Monday morning. I'm sitting in the office with Daryl, producer Dub, and he goes, holy shit. And I go, what? He goes, let me just put it this way. Everyone loves it when your sister records with you.
Oh, really?
And I said, why?
How
he
can
goes,
you tell?
Because we had like triple the downloads.
Oh,
on the show that you returned
on. But see,
on.
you said that, well, I don't really understand how the whole podcast thing was like how and all the stats and all that stuff. But I thought people, and what's ironic about me doing the show with you is that I don't listen to podcasts.
I know.
Like none.
You're like Miranda.
I'm the only one. Everyone at work does. Everyone I know does. I just don't.
Okay, Stephanie, you have to get into true crime podcasting.
I did listen to one true crime podcast.
There are so many good ones.
I know.
And I have to actually stop myself because if I listen to too many, I start having nightmares.
Yeah. Well, I watch them on TV, so.
Yeah. So, and I have a very visual mind. I that's why I love reading and why I like audio, because I can really envision everything.
Right,
and
right.
if there's people like me, when you're listening, like I'm for sure, I know exactly who these people are and I know what they look like and all that stuff. And then I look up the audio, the narrator, the person doing the podcast, and I'm like, I wasn't too far off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so you can kind of tell. There are some that really surprise me, but for the most part, it's usually men with high voices. If they're higher voiced, I'm like, oh, I wonder what they look. And then I look at them, I'm like, oh, you look like a lumberjack. That's surprising. I didn't expect that at all. Anyway, you would love True Crime Podcast. I will send you a couple links later. But anyway, so yes, the audience absolutely loves you more than anyone else. Yes,
I love that.
I do too.
There's a lot of bitches in the world then, huh?
Yes.
One bitch likes another.
What I think also is it's so nice to listen to people be, I've seen since we've started the show, and it's been almost 10 years.
Oh my God.
But it doesn't feel like 10 years because there's been so many gaps of time where we really weren't doing it, but with any regularity. Anyway, I see so many podcasts with like two bros or not sisters, but two friends doing.
I was gonna say, are they siblings?
No, and it's always they go, unabashed, unvarnished opinions, and I'm like, okay.
No one uses words like that in real life.
Like I know that you say you do that, but no, we
do you really
do that.
Yeah.
We really do that. And if you knew us, people listen. They're like, oh yeah, no, that's the truth. That's real.
I mean, I don't listen. So since you listen to, isn't Joe Rogan kind of like that?
Yeah, he gets in a lot of trouble, but he's a multi-billionaire or whatever.
I know. So he's doing something right. But I'm just saying, like, he pretty much says how it is.
He does, but he is not vicious like we are.
Really?
He will actually not name names of people that he hates. He'll just say, there's somebody that I know, blah, 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 and he did me wrong or whatever. But you and I will be like, yeah, remember that guy, Joe?
That's because we're not famous.
Yeah.
He knows like A-list celebs.
He knows everybody.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are gonna we do, of course. You want to hear our take. You want to hear our take.
Oh,
come on,
man.
And we've been mulling this over for a week now, so we have a concerted take, and my opinions have changed.
Mine too.
Anyway, so it
was so funny because were we actually messaging when that was happening?
Yes.
And I was like,
you're like, is that real?
I thought that was a joke.
You're like, is this staged?
First of all, I don't watch award shows hardly ever.
I don't either.
I think we were watching them for the fashion.
I did, and I said I wasn't going to watch it, and I ended up watching it and hating it. Everything that everyone wore.
I really wasn't even watching. Like I think it was on, and I would like look over once in a while. But I'm like, it's the same stupid bullshit they always do. And then that
just happened to have it on because I was switching back and forth.
Too.
I happened on. I love Chris Rock, so I was watching it.
Too.
I had no idea this was Will Smith's first Academy Award. I knew he'd been nominated, but I didn't know he had.
I did not know he'd been. I didn't know anything.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess we'll just talk about it. There's no reason to. Well, really quick. There was a mass shooting in Sacramento this morning. On the 3rd of April. And I was up at the crack of dawn because Daryl's family, of all things, were messaging him and going, hey, were any of your kids out last night? No. Malia was.
Did she go to London?
She was at Republic, which is down the street.
Oh, for God's sakes.
But I went on, and she luckily leaves it on Snapchat so I can see where her location is at all times. I told her I kind of like it just in case. Yeah. She stays out late all the time. And she by 2 a.m. she was in Carmichael, which is in the subdivision. But I went on Snapchat and I'm like, holy shit, she was at Republic, which was like a block away. And so and Tyler heard the whole thing.
Because do they live that close?
He lives down the street. And so I asked him, I said, Tyler, I know you're probably sleeping, but when you get this, please let the family know you didn't go gallivanting wherever. They still won't name the club as of this recording.
It's London.
It was London.
Yep.
Somebody was inside London and tweeted, I'm inside London. I heard it, but he didn't know.
It was London and it was outside.
Yes, it was outside.
But still, if you were familiar with that part of town, it's very busy.
Yeah, well, it's K.
Especially at night.
Street.
Yeah, it's K Street.
It was
a lot of pedestrians.
Time. Yeah. Things spilled out. Somebody pulled out a gun and shot 15 people. And
16 and 6 are dead. And we
so
don't.
Far.
And looking at the crime scene with the amount of shell, it had to have been more than one person shooting.
I mean, they were saying it was a drive-by, but you can't drive on K Street. So
No.
I don't know what it was. If they're and no one has any,
Unless they were driving on like the tracks, because we have our light rail system.
but I don't know. Well, you know what?
They're saying it was a fight that turned into a shooting.
That's what I heard too. And I saw some raw footage of a fight breaking out.
Yeah.
But I did not. You can't see anything.
No, you can't.
There was just people with some guy put somebody in a headlock, and that's all I saw.
Somebody was choking someone. It got really violent.
It got violent.
As far as just like a fight,
really bad. And who knows why?
You know what? When you have a bunch of young people and they're drunk,
drinking, I know.
I mean, what I was reading about this club is it sounds like it's a multi-club where you can, as long as you're 18, you can get in.
Oh shit!
And there's a bar level because it's a three floor. It's like a brand new,
Oh,
really
it's like
fancy.
American Life.
Yes, in a way, but it's one club.
Yeah.
And it's the latest thing. It's only been open for about 2 years.
Okay.
It's really, really beautiful.
Yeah, we opened right up before the pandemic, everyone.
They did. Excuse me. Oh, that's lovely.
That's okay.
They opened it in 2019.
Oh man.
So
but they're like full systems go now.
Yeah, but so this is like the it place to be downtown. So the fact that this happened there, it's
oh my God, they must be mortified. Anyway, so everybody was on alert at the crack of dawn. Luckily, Malia heard because her phone was blowing up.
I bet.
I'm sure she wasn't the only one. I'm sure all of her friends' parents, everybody, because they all knew they were there. And so,
wow.
Luckily, when I'm
so grateful that's where she was and not.
Oh my God, Stephanie. And then I told Tyler, I'm like, Tyler, you weren't out trying to get a beer or anything, were you? And he's like, no, I have no money. I'm at home. And I'm like, okay, thank God. He goes, yes, me and Lucas were scared. It was his cat. He and his cat.
Right.
And I said, well, he's like, but I'm hungry. And I go, well, go get something to eat. He goes, there's some maniacs out there. I'm not walking around. I'm
well, they haven't arrested anyone yet.
No, they haven't. And I'm like, okay, fair. Well, they're hiding, I'm sure.
They will find them.
Yes.
There's so much video that it's only a matter of time.
Eventually.
But yes,
it was just chaos.
Yeah, people who don't live here, I'm sure they're like, yeah, big whoop.
It's trending everywhere. It's huge.
It was considered a mass shooting.
It is a mass shooting.
And yeah.
It's frightening. Anyway, so yes, we're obviously, I can't even imagine. I mean, I was so confident that my kids were fine that I wasn't really worried about it. But for a minute, I was like, well, once I knew she wasn't there anymore, I was fine.
Yeah.
But it didn't even.
Just takes a heartbeat of a second to think, like, what if,
Well, they missed it by like 20 minutes, Stephanie.
My God.
I mean, it's terrifying.
Horrifying.
So anyway, they're fine. Everybody's fine. Okay. So yes, the Oscars, the slap.
The slap that could be heard around the world.
Around the world. So we don't need to recap it. We know everything. Number one, please stop blaming Jada. I know she's a crazy bitch, but this is not her fault.
It's not her fault.
She did not escort the man up on stage and make him do shit. I know he's pussy whipped or whatever's going on in that fam. And that's a completely different thing. But if we start holding women accountable for men's actions, we are in deep shit.
Well, people have been doing that forever.
Yes, they have. And I'm like, no, you cannot blame this craziness on a woman just sitting there. Even though her reactions were inappropriate, all the shit, it doesn't matter. He's the one that walked his ass up there. And I told Daryl, I said, let me tell you something. If that was you and I, and you even a butt cheek raised off of your chair, I'd be like, where the fuck do you think you're going?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Sit down. No, you will not ruin your life for this. Are you fucking insane? Sit down. And he's like, well, that's true. I go, no real woman would ever let their man get up there and go, are you fucking, do you know what we are right now?
Well, I mean, so yeah, you're right about that. And I don't blame Jada. I hate her.
I don't like her either.
I think she's,
putting out your business and calling it entertainment.
It's more than that. She is the epitome of women who emasculate men.
Yes.
And she is proud of it, and she flaunts it, and I just have no respect for her. I don't care if you think all of those things are true about your husband. You do not say them in public.
She's even said that he has a small penis.
I know. She's horrible. She's horrible. I watched the clip of her talking about her affair and all that stuff. Yes. Yeah. And it was just, Will looked so uncomfortable.
It was horrifying.
I was just like, why would you do this to him?
I can only think of one thing. I can only think that he has a kink. There's a kink. He likes the humiliation.
I don't know.
We don't know anything.
Well, it's so opposite of what he's used to because he's an A-list celeb. I mean, he's now an Oscar winner. I mean,
yes, and he always will be. But the bottom line, my thought on this entire thing, I have two trains of thought on it. One is the man, for whatever reason, whatever happened to him in his life, current or past,
deserves this.
He self-sabotaged himself to the ultimate degree. It's like going in and slapping your boss and then sitting down thinking you're going to continue working.
Right.
And so that did not happen. And so I don't know what's going on with him and why he thought that was the thing to do, but he did it. And I think he knew he was going to win, and he literally destroyed his career.
Maybe, yeah.
And I don't mean like he'll never act again or whatever, but
No.
the view on him has completely changed.
Right.
He will continue working because God forbid
he's going to take some time to reflect.
Of course he is.
As they always do.
You know, and the Academy they're just the worst. But
about what? The way they handled it?
Yes.
They didn't do anything.
Well, first of all, Stephanie, and Daryl and I had a debate about it. I go, you know what? You are such an optimist. I go, these people were never going to not escort him out. They wanted him to win, and they couldn't wait for him to get behind that microphone.
After that happened?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course.
They're like, keep it on him. Do not move those, and don't you call him off.
Well,
he can talk for 10 minutes if he wants to.
I know, right?
Let him destroy himself in front of everyone. And then the second train of thought I had, and this is actually more disgusting to me than anything else. All the motherfuckers in that building stood up and gave him a standing ovation when he fucking won. I couldn't believe it.
I know. Well,
Weak.
The whole thing
Pussies. I was so furious. I'm like,
well, now they're all coming out of the woodwork.
Oh, sure. We were so aghast. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I know. You were really
Nicole,
aghast. Yeah,
please.
no one was aghast.
You were sitting right
Denzel
there.
Washington was hugging him. No one comforted Chris Rock, who was mortified in front of millions of people, all of his peers, probably one of the best gigs he had in his career, hosting the Oscars.
He's hosted them before.
Oh, has he?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, it's a big honor to do that.
It's always an honor to appear in any form in front of your peers.
Right. Well, and the Oscars is like the epitome.
It's the epitome.
And of course, we don't hold them in the highest regard that they hold themselves, right?
Clearly.
They really love themselves a lot. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of us hate watching those shows, because it's just like, God, a bunch of rich snobs patting each other on the back. You know, you're so amazing. No, you're so amazing.
Before I hear your opinion on it, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wrote a very extensive essay
on this subject,
and it was profound and it was very interesting.
Okay,
but what he said was, because he's been in the entertainment business since the 70s.
I get it,
but anyway,
I just mean everybody's making this like a philosophical.
Yes,
it's like me with algorithm.
Oh God, we're gonna talk.
I can't speak.
You can't. I couldn't say sugar forever. I can barely say it. Sugar.
Oh God.
No, but basically what he said was, he goes, the reason that they roast those celebrities so badly at the Oscars is because it is a gentle reminder to the viewing audience that you are being roasted because you are so insulated in your millions and your $10,000 dress, congratulating each other,
I know,
telling each other how beautiful and wonderful and how honored you are. When the reality is this should be a fucking luncheon. Right. It should be a luncheon where, you know, it's
at
like
the Beverly Hills Hotel where everybody paid $1,500 a plate to be there.
And the money goes to the Academy
charity or whatever.
No, it goes to the union. Fine. So everybody has benefits. It's like, we have made it this huge thing.
Do they have benefits?
Yeah.
Like all those actors and stuff?
Yeah,
I just assumed they bought their own like private insurance.
No, through SAG.
Oh, what a
Screen Actors Guild.
I did read that there was like a retirement home where celebrities go.
They can. Yeah,
Hollywood. Not everybody does.
They have an amazing union. In fact, it's coveted. If you can get in, you're golden. And even extras, if they can work, I think 6 gigs in a row or get 6 checks in a row, they can get into SAG, which is a huge protection.
So Will resigning from the Academy,
yes,
has other implications other than him just trying to look, you know,
he can't
humble.
vote and he can't be nominated, but he can still work. He's not out of the union. He just can't vote for the awards.
Oh, I see.
And I believe he won't be nominated. And the discussion is he's banned already from next year's awards. But
really?
They may ban him for 10 years, depending. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't. I mean, it's more of a. I mean, if he does like the film of his life, he can't be nominated for it.
I see.
And I don't know. And I guess there's money attached to certain Oscar. I'm sure.
I think it's more of a
prestige. You know, it's like, you will no longer be employee of the month for 12 months.
You're not one of us anymore.
One of us, not. Yeah. But anyway, so what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's really unfortunate that he let his emotions get the best of him if it wasn't planned in any way.
Right.
Or I can't imagine that he didn't have... That it was, I don't know. Part of me is like, was it completely spontaneous, or was he thinking of? Because Chris Rock has made jabs about Jada in the past.
One time before, he talked about her. Yes.
And by the way, the joke was
it was mild,
considering
what they could have said.
It was like a semi compliment almost.
Yeah, because she looked great.
She always looks great,
And
right?
she looks good. Although Bill Maher said yesterday, he goes, just put a wig on like the rest of us.
Right? Oh my God. Literally the next day at work, like one of the fifth people I talked to, a client that I was helping was like, well, I have alopecia. I'm like, of course you do. Because everybody has alopecia now.
Everyone has it.
We all have alopecia. I'm like, do I have alopecia?
Everybody got is it alopecia?
I don't know.
Alopecia?
You know I don't pronounce things correctly.
Well, I mean, have we
maybe
all,
it is alopecia.
have we all not been complaining about hair loss for 2 years? I mean,
seriously,
know.
it's alarming.
I know. And then somebody's like, if that's your worst health scare, Jada, get the fuck over it. Sincerely,
Exactly.
everyone with cancer.
And by the way, yeah, I
God.
mean, Jesus. And yes, she's rich, she's beautiful,
Yeah,
she
she's
has
stunning.
everything. I mean, come on. But
She was in The Matrix. Anyway.
whatever. Yeah. So I'm actually really over it.
Oh, of course.
Because it's been what, a week?
Yes, it's been a
It'll
week.
be a week today.
But we had to have our take really quickly.
Oh no,
obviously.
of course we did. We absolutely had to.
Yes.
I mean, how could we not talk about it?
I mean, they'd be like, I can't believe the Uggs didn't talk about Will Smith. This is insane. Don't they hate
No,
Jada?
you know what? And it's
Yes.
like I hate what he did. I hate that he tarnished his own.
And we were
moments.
just saying how much we love Will Smith. Do you remember?
And that's why I'm so torn, because I love him. I still love him. I love him as an actor.
I will, yes.
I love his work.
Yes. I will say this. I don't believe in cancel culture. I've
don't
never
either.
believed in it. I don't like it. I am very concerned about what some yokel's going to do to a stand-up comedian. I don't like that precedent that has been
Right.
set, because I am a staunch supporter of stand-up. I think it's super important that they
Right.
get free reign to say whatever they want.
Right.
If you don't like it, shut
Don't
the fuck
go.
up. Don't go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that everybody's allowed to have a path to redemption. Everyone,
Yeah.
even
Oh,
Will
yeah.
Smith. I
He
mean,
didn't do anything in my
Chris-
mind that is unrecoverable.
Chris has already they've already made amends apparently.
Supposedly.
The PR, they're not doing much, because you really can't recover from something like that pretty quickly. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. I do believe there'll be some time taken. The word Scientology has been tossed around quite a bit this week, because they kind of dabble in it.
Oh.
They tried to open a school about a decade ago. And it was Scientology based.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're still in it or not. I mean, usually you pretty much know if they are, but they're kind of doing something culty, I think.
It's weird. Scientology to me is so weird.
It's criminal.
Beyond.
It's criminal.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, I can't.
Leah Remini is one of my most favorite people
I
in
love her.
entertainment, and I just gobble up everything she does and
I do
says.
too.
And I just love it that J-Lo's her best friend. I mean, really?
They're so funny together
They're
too.
the best. She
Even
gives her
like-
shit all the time. She goes, we're at the pool. I look like this. And she has what I'm wearing, a baseball cap and hoops and a t-shirt. She goes, and then there's J-Lo in a fucking turban with all her gold jewelry in some kind of wrap.
Have you ever seen that movie?
But there's always one in every
Mother-in-law
couple.
with Jane Fonda.
Of course
and J-Lo.
I have. Of
Okay.
course.
It's like that exact
Yeah.
scenario. I love it. It's so cute because she's like, when they come to the rehearsal dinner.
Yes.
And she's like, this is the Shah of Iran. I'd like you to meet. And she's like, I'm wearing flip-flops.
Yes.
I'm like, that's Leah
That's
Remini
literally
and
Leah
J-Lo.
Remini and J-Lo. Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah.
They're a great
Hilarious.
little BFF couple. But anyway, so yeah,
Right.
that's our take on it. I think that he will be redeemed, and
too.
I will be fine with it.
Yeah, me too.
And
but that's because I don't worship celebrities anyway.
I don't either. I
really
mean,
don't.
and I really am. What was on full display to me was the utter lack of backbones that most people in the entertainment
Oh
world
my
have.
God.
It was absolutely
It was like-
obscene. I had heard this.
Oh my God.
But the whole, the ultimate yes man shit was on full display. I couldn't believe it. And then they let that motherfucker party
And they acted like nothing happened.
after. I'm like, you guys are crazy. You know what?
Oh my God.
We would never make it in Hollywood, Stephanie. First of all, I'm too fat and too short.
Same.
Second, I would not be. I'd be like, well, she's
I
difficult to
couldn't.
work with. I would be the ultimate difficult to work with.
Yeah, well, there's lots of those that people like that too, and they don't last for very long. Like
Oh,
Deborah Winger is known to be a tremendous.
Oh,
bitch.
well, she's insane. Isn't
Is
she kind of crazy?
No,
She talks so much
She's
shit.
very, very smart.
She lives in England now, and she just talks shit about
Really?
everybody. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, she was such a cunt. And I'm like, woo!
yeah,
Really?
Well, apparently she's been like that for always.
Yes.
and she was very demanding.
She
when
and
she
Shirley
was on
MacLaine
set.
did not get along.
No, and Richard Gere hated her.
Really?
And they hated her.
Hilarious.
So yeah, all the movies that she's well known for were very difficult for the other.
I will
actors.
say this though, those movies, best performances from from each
One
other.
of my favorite, well, and
Literally.
I like obscure movies, but one of my favorite movies ever is Black Widow.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah, and she plays an awkward, kind of ugly FBI, cop, whatever she was, and
yes. It's a
really
great
good
movie.
role for her. Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie so much.
And of course, there's Urban Cowboy.
Of course.
Sissy.
Maybe she wasn't a bitch back then, though.
But
John
Sissy.
Travolta hasn't said anything about her.
He doesn't say anything about anybody. He's like the nicest person on the
Can
planet.
I just say how glad I am that he's embraced his baldness and hasn't gone and slapped anyone?
That man has had so much tragedy in his life in the last 5-10 years.
Jet and Kelly Preston. And it's like,
the worst.
I just am so happy that he looks happy.
Yeah,
right now.
I think
currently.
I mean, he's kind of been laying low. I don't know of any movies that he's made in the last.
The baldness has brought out his blue eyes.
He's a gorgeous man.
He's a very handsome dude,
Yeah.
but he looks better this way.
And he's really smart. That's what I love about him.
Is he?
Yeah, well, I follow him on
he is a
Instagram.
pilot.
Yeah, and he just flew his first 747 and he was like so excited.
He wanted to fly Qantas for years.
Yeah. Well,
I remember that.
He's too busy acting, but yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe he's not now. Who knows? Anyway, so the other entertainment thing that we're going to talk about is Bruce Willis, which is he has aphasia, which is a symptom of something greater.
Right.
It's either a stroke. I think he might have had a stroke based on what he looks like.
I haven't seen any pictures of him. Have you?
Yes, I have, and he does look a little. His face looks a bit different, and he looks like he's aged tremendously. And
That's
so
terrible.
I'm hoping it was a stroke and not a brain tumor or Alzheimer's or something like that. I mean, he's 65, so anything's possible. Dementia,
I know, but God, he's young. I mean,
aphasia. Yeah, and aphasia has there's three different types. I have actually experienced aphasia. It's not a temporary thing.
Oh,
but
it is.
with
Okay.
migraines, sometimes you can experience aphasia if you have significant migraine.
Oh, okay.
And I
Yeah,
suffer
you do.
from migraine, and so unlike Khloe Kardashian, I don't put Botox all over my face to try to eliminate.
Well, she probably doesn't.
But the person that I do get
What do you mean
Botox
she takes Nurtec ODT?
whatever. I'm afraid to take anything that messes with your neurological body parts because
I guarantee you she doesn't take it.
No.
I mean,
I don't know. We don't know.
maybe she does. I don't know.
Apparently she's the nicest of the Kardashians. I believe that. But anyway,
You fool.
so I've experienced aphasia and it's very weird. It's like you're having a stroke.
I am so
Legit.
afraid of stuff like that.
And you're standing there going, how come I can't la banana? And you're like, what the fuck? And then you're like, okay, I need to stop. I have experienced vertigo, aphasia, all the things. So if he is having if he's having trouble either comprehending or being able to communicate, that's got to be just. Well, he can't act.
Well,
you can't act.
He
if
said
you
he was
have
stepping
that.
away from acting.
He's retired.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's it's. You know what? I just hope everything's okay. But I will say this: as crazy as Demi Moore is, that family has rallied. Man, they're
very
so
close.
tight. And I know he has a wife, another wife with children, and like they're all one big Brady Bunch.
They
family.
are now. Yeah.
And that's cool. I'm so happy
Oh,
for
no,
them.
it's lovely.
I'm just so glad they went through a rough phase. Their kids were a little, but
Well,
now
that's
they're
'cause
all.
Demi's a little. She is,
But she seems like she's healthy.
now she is.
And they're all rallying.
She did a
around
lot
them.
of healing with her book. She finally dumped all the stuff about Ashton and
her mother.
just all kinds of stuff.
Yes,
Yeah, you know,
yes.
he wasn't nice to her, and
It was not a great relationship.
it wasn't a great relationship. He was way too young for her. We
Oh
all
my
agree
God.
about that.
Yes.
But at the same time, you know, he didn't treat her well, regardless of his age. You know, you cannot treat your wife like a whore, and that's how he treated her. So.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't worship a quote unquote celebrity and then only treat them like that. Oh, I would always love to have sex with Demi Moore, and then that's all.
Well,
you know?
I mean, he wanted her, and she did
Threesomes and
yeah,
stuff?
all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff, you know. And she was never
I know.
really wanted to do it, but she didn't want him to leave her. So
Yeah, I'm so glad that's over.
I'm
for
glad
her.
that's over,
But now
too.
they seem to be fine. She's doing fine, and
does
you know
seem
now
to
that
be
we have a focus and it's Bruce, and I'm sad about it. But he's had such an amazing career.
he has had an
I've
amazing
enjoyed
career,
everything.
and I've often wondered that about celebrities who've created so many amazing movies. It's like, how do you hopefully financially prepare for the day that you're not going to keep making movies and you can sustain your lifestyle? You know,
you get an accountant, man.
I guess,
Just
but
get an accountant
I
and
mean,
say you don't need this much to live on. You don't need this much liquid. You need to put it in.
I hope so.
Investing,
Yeah.
in real estate.
it's just like some of these actors are so freaking old, and
some
they're
of them get
still
poor real fast.
Yeah, and
They
that's,
do.
it just makes me wonder, like, are you still making movies because you're one of those old people that's like, I have to keep working, it makes me feel alive,
Right.
Or is that just bullshit? And you're like, no, I need $20 million this year
Because I'll be screwed if I don't.
Yeah, because how else am I going to keep being this rich?
One of the most eye-opening interviews that I listened to, shockingly, Joe Rogan again, was Jewel was on Joe Rogan a few months ago. And it was one of the best interviews. And now, you know, because you're my sister, she is the one celebrity that I low-key worship.
Yeah.
I just fucking love her.
I love her too.
I love everything about her. I love her story.
I do too.
She's a little crazy, but I don't care.
Well, who isn't?
But right now she's really into mental health and healing and children, and she's got this really great school for kids who are at risk and stuff. I mean,
she won the Masked Singer.
She's doing amazing things.
Did you see that?
I didn't. I don't watch them out.
I don't either. I watched it. It was like the last episode, and it happened to be. And I'm like, what is this stupid show that everybody's watching?
From Japan, and they've redone it. Yeah.
But when they showed who it was, I was like, well, because she was singing, and I'm like, God, whoever this is amazing. Like, I thought it was shitty singers or like B-list people.
I didn't know what it was. Yeah,
I didn't know who.
But they get
what kind of people.
Top.
It was Jewel.
I would have known that. I should have listened. I would have known.
I could not figure it out.
Like,
no, they don't, except for the fact that they're in those giant costumes.
So it's
but they're mic'd inside.
Okay,
so it sounds, it may mess with the sound a little bit, but
maybe. Anyway,
you'd be surprised how much I really had no idea.
That's great. That's so
just
cool.
by not seeing them.
I guess I should listen. You know what? No, I'm not going to watch it. I know I'm not going to watch it.
No.
Ain't going to happen. And I don't even know why I brought up Jewel. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Well, she was on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I know. But the interview, what was it? Oh.
About being poor.
Her mother was quite narcissistic.
Uh-huh.
And when she started getting famous, her mom showed up after 7 years.
Of course.
And said, hey, I can help you. We can do this. I can manage, whatever. So pushed out her actual manager and brought in her own accountant. And within 5 years, Jewel was broke.
And stole all her money.
She had stolen $50 million.
Oh my God. How does that happen?
Because she trusted her mother.
I know, but how do you not know you're broke?
The manager sued her for contract breach because he got fired shady wise, right? So they were in court and they were like, we need to see, all your accounting records. We'll make she's like, I'll just settle. We'll just settle. It's fine. Because I did not like him. I just wanted my mom to be, whatever. So when they had an independent person come in and look, they said, there's no money, like none. So she's like, Mom, you have to sell your home on Catalina Island. We had da-da-da-da. She's like, at one point, my mom looked at me and said something, and I thought she was going to legitimately kill me. So I filed a restraining order. I told her never to contact me again, and I would find a way. So she made that oh my God, that Jewel album that was kind of like her pop album.
Yeah.
That was what she made that album to make money to pay off her bills.
Oh God.
She had to sell everything she had.
Unbelievable.
And then she moved to Texas and said, this is not for me. And that's when everything changed for her. And she's come out of it. She doesn't know where her mom is. She doesn't even know if she's alive. Doesn't know where the 50 million is. She goes, I'm sure it's there. She had a lot of scary people around her. She goes, so I assume that I would, and she goes, and I would never reach out to her. But that's how quickly you could be taken advantage of in the entertainment world.
And it's always your family, for God's sake. God.
I just can't imagine. Well,
we're never getting famous anyway.
Can you imagine if I said, Stephanie, did you take my 50 million? I can't find it.
You'd
be like, oh no, I just bought a house for you. I'm like, oh sweet, all right. I mean, it would be so crazy to have that kind of money. I can't even imagine.
No, I can't even imagine. But it's like, even if I did, I can't ever imagine hurting someone that I love so much.
Either.
You know what I mean? For money,
it's not worth it. Especially when you know how generous you and I are. I mean, like, my God.
Well, I mean,
if I won $1 million, I'd give you money. Like, it wouldn't.
We've talked about that in the past. Like, what would we do if how much would we give away? And
I would hook up all of my family. And then
really?
I would.
Yeah, I mean, $1 million isn't a lot of money.
No, I was just making.
But I feel you. I hear what you're saying.
If I won money, I'd be like, well, what am I going to do with it?
Yeah.
So on that note, it has nothing to do with money. You remember I was telling you last week I have shower thoughts?
Yes, you did. And I'm like, and I don't.
Okay, so
'cause I'm half asleep.
I made myself cry yesterday in the shower.
In the shower?
Mm-hmm,
Oh my
because
God.
of a shower thought.
Jamie.
I was like, and it started off silly. That's what was so funny is I said, I wonder if all women do this, I think. For the most part, I always ask Daryl, like, would you still want to have sex with me if I didn't have arms? Like, if I lost arms in a horrific accident and I was limbless, would you still want to, be intimate with me? So I'm in the shower.
Of course. He's like, yes, your nubs would act like little crevices.
Right. And so that's what I was thinking too, is that we'd get kind of crazy with it.
That's gross.
At some point when the sensitivity wore off and it wouldn't be from, active surgery. But anyway. So I'm in the shower going, if I lost my limbs in a horrific accident, My first thought is, first of all, I know Daryl would feel compelled to stay because that's just the kind of person he is.
He is. He'd be like, I can't leave her.
He's
just
like, I
because she
can't
has
just leave
no
her now.
legs."
I was like, what is she going to do? But then I'm like, how would I put on my makeup? How would I do my hair? Because God damn it, I wouldn't be one of those ugly people who
I can't just accept being
just be
ugly.
like, well,
because
I guess my days of makeup and hair are over. Like that wouldn't happen.
I think they have things.
I said I would be. I thought to myself, well, I would definitely be a one of those people who would break science records of the latest and greatest in prosthetics.
Well, that and I mean, I'm thinking they have like stands that would hold your brushes, and you could like just.
I would rub my face on
them.
it.
Yeah,
I would do that. I was thinking that I would have stands everywhere, and I would just like
There's other people in this world who have managed to figure it out. I'm sure.
Because I can tell you 100% Stephanie, I ain't using my feet.
No. What if you didn't have any?
Well, if I had only no limb arms, like if I still had my legs, I would not use my expensive.
But what if
that would be, that would be
honestly,
karma.
Jamie, we would never. We know, but I'm just saying.
No.
What if you had your legs, but you didn't have any feeling in them, and you couldn't move them or anything?
Oh
I mean, there's a variety of different things that.
Well, in the shower, I was thinking I just didn't have arms. And
so
I was
why
still
were you
doing other
crying?
things.
Because of the thought?
Because I was laying there going, first of all, the terrifying thought that I could no longer care for myself in the way that I'm accustomed. And then I'm like, and then when I'm laying down, Daryl would spoon me, and I wouldn't be able to like keep him off of me. And then he would feel my nubs, and it would make me sad because I know he'd be like, oh, my poor limbless wife. And then I started crying. Oh my God. Because I'm like, that's so devastating. Stupid. What a devastating life. Well, okay. And I started crying. And I'm like, snap out of it. This is stupid. Why are you crying?
You're not going to become limbless. I mean, what are the chances?
I never do anything.
You don't even leave your house practically.
I do too, but it's like car accidents or whatever. I was just thinking it's not going to be in the sea or anything like that. I'm not going to go swimming
in the sea. No, we know
around the ocean. But I mean, I'm just saying something could happen. You never know.
Well, of course something could happen, but that is ridiculous.
Anyway, so yeah, I made myself cry. And I'm like, okay,
that's
enough.
ridiculous.
Enough. And so, yeah, it was stupid traumatic. So
I watched Beaches the other day.
Did you cry?
Who doesn't? I
always
haven't seen
cry.
it in years. It's been a long time.
Yeah, you know what? I do cry when I watch.
Oh my
Beaches.
God! It's just I don't know if it's. I think it was when It's always the scene when she's in the library and she's just finished like all that
and she's
research.
just figured out that
and
she's
kind of
dying.
looking around like all these people are, and she just realizes like I'm fucked. I'm dead.
I'm dying. Yeah. And
Yeah.
she's got a kid and everything.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, that's a really, you know what? That's funny that it does. Certain movies that make you cry they hit you at different spots
Parts.
as you get older or
Yeah.
if you experience different life. Like Forever, if I really want to emotionally cut, I will hole up in my room and watch Steel Magnolias.
Oh God.
And also Terms
Because
of Endearment,
Mother.
of course.
Yeah. Oh God. Anything where you have an adult child that's
So Steel Magnolias, I used to just simply cry after the funeral when she's saying,
Crazy.
when she's like, I want to know why. Right.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And I ugly cry.
Oh, me too.
But now when I watch it, I also cry when she comes to get her grandchild.
Oh God, me too.
I lose it because I'm like, she's
yeah.
never gonna know his mother, and
And
it's
you
like,
know that's what she's thinking. And it's the closest thing to your. It's the only
It's
thing
the
you can
closest
get
thing
that
to your
you can
baby.
get. Yeah.
God.
Your
And then
baby's baby.
Terms of Endearment, it's always after she's died. And when she's like, I can't believe it.
Oh my God.
I thought it wouldn't be this hard. I'm like, I can't. And then Flap, I just want to punch the shit out of him.
Well,
Jeff Daniels was such a good actor.
He is.
To make me hate that character
I know,
so
right?
much.
He's actually good in a lot of things.
I love Jeff Daniels. He was
do
good in
too.
The Martian.
He was good in Arachnophobia.
You know what? I just got a chill at my neck,
Yes.
but I love that movie too.
Oh, now we're saving Black Widows at my house, by the way.
What?
Now we're not killing Black Widows.
Wait, what?
Thanks to my son. So we have a pool house. All right. It's a fully like a house.
Shed?
But it's not a shed. Yeah. It's literally like a
got
mini
windows
house.
and stuff.
It's got windows, double pane windows.
Oh my God.
It's literally, you could live in it.
Okay.
And we keep all the pool stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kept the door cracked because the weather's been weird and one of my cats refuses to come in the house. She's so weird. And she's been sleeping out and like on the grass in the middle of the night. I'm like, okay, it's warm during the day, but at night it's getting nippy.
Yes.
So I opened it up. She's been sleeping in there. So I went in there to check it out randomly yesterday, and there's sure as shit right on full display. There is a Black Widow living right where you can see it. And I'm like,
so why are we saving them?
I'm like, so you need to die. So I come back in the house, but of course I was barefoot. And so I was literally like so freaked out.
Oh my God.
So I went running back in the house. I go and grab my flip flops and Jerry's like, where are you going? I'm like, out to the pool house to kill Black Widow. He's like, oh. And then Jeff's like, well, why do you have to kill him, Mom? I go, because, honey, he's poisonous and I don't want anyone to accidentally get bit or whatever. He's like, well, he's not hurting anyone. I go, well,
yet.
He's not hurting anyone. He goes, can't you just move him somewhere safe?
Where's that? Your room?
So I was like,
you're not saving it. Okay, there's a limit to what I will indulge with children, and spiders is not one of the things.
Especially Black Widows, and I am so terrified of them. And everyone knows it. Like Jerry's like, oh, she's on a hunt again, because I literally go out with a spray and I will search the entire property to look for them.
We live in an area where Black Widows are prevalent.
Very much so.
And you just have to, you can't.
And they will end up, if you don't stay on top of them.
And by the way, you can rehome it, but it's going to return.
I'm not rehoming it.
Thank you. Kill them.
So she's still alive right at this moment, but she will not be living for the rest of the day.
Thank God.
It's one of the things on my list to do. I'm just not telling anyone. I'm like, okay, from now on, I'm telling no one.
No, you can't announce anything anymore.
Apparently,
you just have to do it.
I didn't even think, I just was so surprised that he would want to save it. Well, can't you move it somewhere safely? I'm like, no. He was so genuine about it when he said it too.
Look,
like, really?
There are spiders that I won't kill.
And then Jerry's like, leave it alone. I'm like,
shut up.
Like, shut the
And I'll be like, and you know who's going to be the first to get bit? You. And they'll be like, why didn't you kill it?
Yeah. Like when I found one in the closet in the master bedroom, his mind was blown. He's like, how did it get in there? Did it travel the whole hallway from the front door?
It came from under the house.
That's what I said.
For whatever.
He's like, there is no way. There is no cracks. It couldn't have come. I'm like, hey.
First of all, houses are not, they're
not sealed. Yeah, right?
Dippity doo.
I know. So
silly. Anyway, do you have an ugly and awkward moment?
No, I just
have
exist.
One.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm spring cleaning is here, and so I am deep cleaning every room one at a time. And so yesterday I was doing the dining room.
Oh,
and there was a time when Malia was being courted by many people, and every single one of them gave her an orchid in a pot.
Oh,
she foolishly would tell, I love orchids. Now I have 7 orchids.
Oh, great.
That she doesn't care for. They're mine now. And so there was one giant one that came with these really arty branches, and it's a beautiful display. So the orchid is gone, but the branches in this beautiful pot are still there. And I have it on this buffet table near the dining room table. And so I'm cleaning like a madwoman, and I didn't see the branches, and I poked my nose twice.
Ouch.
Luckily, it didn't go all the way up, but I mean, it was in my nostril. I'm like, really?
Oh my God, yeah.
Really? I'm not even that tall.
No, that's why. Because everything is at like eye range for us.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, I did have an
Doing it twice is the awkward.
Mine was awkward and angry.
Okay.
Because I don't know about you, but when I get hurt or I hurt myself.
Oh, I want to punch somebody.
I get very, very mad.
I get violent. Oh, yeah.
So Jeff has been, he used to have a baby blanket, and he, all of our kids had most of them. And then he's finally stopped carrying that thing around. Right. I still have it. But now he's moved on to like a big size blanket, like a people size blanket.
Oh, just for when he's in the house.
Yes. Oh, right. Yeah. Just when he's in the house. Sure. But he always acts like he's freezing. And so he's always got it draped around him like a little cape. And it follows him because it's so big. It's long. It's like a queen size blanket.
Tell me what
and we have a puppy, and he is so heavy and strong, and he chases Jeff like a little horse throughout the house.
Oh, that's cute.
So he'll jump on the back of the tail of the thing while Jeff's walking, and it almost yanks him down to the ground because Kevin is so strong.
Sure.
And so I have told him many times, I'm like, stop. You don't need to take it from the bathroom to the kitchen to get a drink. I'm like, put it on the couch and then go. You're going to fall. I'm like, we have slippery
hardwood floors. Yeah.
Yes. And so, and then I've stepped on it before and almost tripped and stuff. Sure as shit. Oh, God, I get mad thinking about it. I go over to the dining room table. I'm waiting on my staff, as I usually do, getting him something, and I slip and fall on the stupid blanket and completely fall down, like all the way down. My elbow hit the ground, my hip. I mean, I literally fell like banana split style.
That would piss me off to
I was livid. Jerry and Jeff both fly. They're like, oh my God, are you okay? Because it must have looked quite violent. I'm sure. Because I was all the way down. Yeah, I was on the ground. And I am not even thinking about the fact that I just fell. I am livid.
Oh, I'd be furious.
I was so angry.
I would be furious.
So I get up and I'm like, "Argh!" And like, I didn't yell or per se, but I know I looked pissed off because Jerry's like, well, I didn't do anything. And I hadn't even said a word. Like, I wasn't blaming anyone. I'm like, no, it's not you. I'm like, that goddamn blanket. So I'm walking off, and then as I'm going into the other room, I'm slithering away. I hear my son just, what did I do? He's like, what did I do? He's like, she's mad at me. Why do I always have to be the angry woman in the house?
Oh, because God forbid.
So now I have these ginormous bruises on me. I mean, someone's going to think I got beat by my husband. I'm like, no, I just exist. This is my life.
No, this is just me falling down after my children.
Yeah, I always have bruises randomly all over my body. It's very normal.
Anyway. Can you hear it?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
Are we allowed to play it, or is it going to
for like
cut?
20 seconds? Hold on.
Oh, is that the rule? You can
I
play
think
something
so.
for. Don't just play the intro then.
I'm looking for it. Hold on.
Candles they light all alone. Oh yes, I love the song. Tossing, turning, longing for some of
The Force MDs.
tender love. Cherish the. Oh my God, it's so weird that I still know. I haven't heard that song, 30 years probably?
Tender.
And I still know all the words.
Hold on, let me fast forward it a little bit. Oh, play for me.
We're the only ones who know this song. Who sings this, by the way?
The Force MDs.
Who? Oh my God.
It's the Force MDs, Stephanie. Don't you know anything?
How do I not know who that is?
Anyway, well, that's the show, you guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much. All right.
No, I didn't realize how long ago. Has it already been an hour?
Yes, we're done.
I haven't seen you in a whole week, you know?
I know. Anyway, all right. Well, there'll be a new show next week. Thank you so much for listening. Buy Lumi through our links.
You won't regret it.